Episode 8 Profits Are Better Than Wages. Jim Rohn. 1. 210 words narration ready, calm black background lecture style, a calm voice in the dark. Welcome to Black Background Lectures. Jim Rohn used to stand in front of thousands of people and ask one quiet question that made the entire room go silent. Which would you rather have, wages or profits? Most people had never considered the difference. They had spent their entire lives trading hours for dollars and assumed that was the only way life worked. Wages are what you receive when you trade your time and your life for money. You show up from 9 to 5 or from 7 to 7, you do the job, and the company pays you for the hours you gave them. Wages are honest. Wages are respectable. Wages put food on the table, clothes on your children, and a roof over your head. But wages will only ever make you a living. Profits make you a fortune. Profits are what remain after you have solved someone else's problem so well and on such a large scale that the marketplace gladly pays you long after the work is finished. Profits are what you receive when your money, your ideas, your systems, or your equity work for you while you sleep, while you travel, while you read a book on the beach. Jim learned this distinction at 25 from Mr. Earl Shoaff, the man who became his mentor. One evening, Mr. Shoaff drew two simple columns on a napkin. Left column, wages, right column, profits. Then he told Jim a story that changed everything. Two young men graduated high school the same year. Both were equally bright. Both came from similar backgrounds. The first young man took a job with a large company. He worked hard, earned regular raises, and 40 years later retired with a modest pension, a gold watch, and a paid-off house. The second young man started a tiny company in his garage. He worked just as hard, maybe harder, but he owned the company. 40 years later, he sold the company for millions and never had to work again. Same effort, same intelligence, same number of years, completely different results. The difference was wages versus profits. Wages come from labor. Profits come from ownership. Wages stop the moment you stop working. If you get sick, if you take a vacation, if you retire, the wages stop. Profits continue whether you are in the office or on a mountaintop. Jim said the marketplace is incredibly fair. It pays exact rewards for exact value delivered, but it pays forever for residual value. Write a song once, right arrow, collect royalties for life. Build a business system once, right arrow, collect profits for decades. Buy an apartment building once, right arrow, collect rent while you sleep. Create a course, a book, a brand, right arrow, collect profits long after the work is done. That is the miracle of profits. Jim said, "I'm not against wages. I earned wages for years. But I finally realized wages are the price you pay while you are learning how to earn profits." The goal is to move from trading time for money to having money, ideas, and systems trade their time for you. Here is how Jim made the shift step by step. First, he began to study money instead of just earning it. He read books on business, real estate, investing, and royalties. He asked wealthy people how they got wealthy. The answer was always the same: profits, not wages. Second, he started small. He didn't quit his job. He simply took a portion of his wages and turned it into capital. 10% of every paycheck went to investments that could one day produce profits. Third, he learned to think like an owner instead of an employee. Employees ask, "How much do I get paid?" Owners ask, "How much value can I create and how much ownership can I keep?" Fourth, he accepted that profits require risk and patience. Wages feel safe. Profits feel scary at first, but the reward is freedom. Fifth, he built multiple streams: rental income, dividend stocks, a direct sales organization that paid royalties, book royalties, speaking royalties. By the time he was 31, he had replaced his wages entirely with profits. Here is the gentle practice Jim taught for the rest of his life. Tonight, before you go to sleep, draw the same two columns Mr. Shoaff drew. Left column, list every way you currently earn wages. Right column, List every way you currently earn or could earn profits. Be honest. Then pick one small profit vehicle and commit the next 90 days to learning it and funding it with a portion of your wages. A dividend portfolio, a rental property, a side business, an online product, a royalty stream. Start with whatever you have, even if it is only $10 a week. Do it faithfully for 5 years and you will be astonished at what begins to happen. Wages make you a living. Profits make you a life. And a life of freedom is the ultimate reward. That is today's lecture. If you want tomorrow's lecture, subscribe. See you then.